welcome to the Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You're a concerned Tom's River resident. That's why we do this show, because you're concerned and I'm concerned. My kid's got a house in Seaside Heights, so I want to make sure I do my best for the community. Hopefully the kid's investment will prosper, because I want to try to help Seaside Heights and Tom's River. And we're going to start announcing some things we're bringing forward with the show. Might even have a second Tom's River show coming during the week. But we're here on Saturdays and Monday. If you need our help, you got a problem with the county, speak to Mr. Vicari. Tom's River, I can talk to Mr. Kelleher. Seaside Heights, I can talk to Mr. Bonds. You got a consumer issue, we go with that. You got a state issue, I can talk to Stephen Sweeney. I can talk to Mr. Murphy. I can do that. So if you got a situation, go to our website. You'll see it on the screen. You can tweet me. You can email me at the website, whatever way you need. If you're interested, sports betting's legal in New Jersey. I've been doing the picks. You can see that on our live stream and also on YouTube. This show, I have one more game, a Monday night game to go. Right now, I am 9-3 for the week. So if you got a gambling problem, you wouldn't with me, and especially the last 2 weeks prior to that, I was 8-6, 8-6. All right, but enough of that. We had tragedy, again, a shooting in Pittsburgh. We'll get into that in the first segment of the show. The first segment we do here is a short one, and we just introduced the show. 6 years ago was Sandy. I had never seen a storm like, I'm 61 years old. I have never seen a storm like Sandy. Hopefully, I never do again. For that matter, in one of the segments, I'm going to talk about preparing for the nor'easter. We just had one here. And I think back on 6 years ago, coming down to Seaside Heights. We're doing a shore show here, so I got to know the mayor and John Cameron with the BA, and they gave me the okay to come in. You had a beach pass. That was a special ID. And seeing the boardwalk and destroyed and businesses. Remember thinking how bad Seaside was, and Hoboken was flooded. You had the pictures. Everybody remembers all the taxi cabs flooded. John Cameron said, you want to see damage? You got to go over to Manahawkin. It was amazing, the raft of Sandy. Now, the thing is, they're talking about putting an 18-foot dome here in Seaside Heights will kind of block the ocean. If a once-in-a-lifetime storm, should we be investing billions of dollars for the once-in-a-lifetime storm? That's a tough one. If you don't and you get caught again, you're washed out. You spend the billions, and it could be years before you have a situation like that again. It could be a lifetime. You could go the rest of your life and not seeing a storm like that. But when you're looking, I've done a few telethons. We did Hurricane Florence recently. We did Harvey. Hurricanes are becoming more and more, and they go in seasons. The meteorologists will tell you, this is a record for this month, but back in 1956 we had more, a hurricane. Now, I don't think it's a new trend, but it is a scary trend that we're seeing. And for years and years we never thought twice about a hurricane until Sandy here in New Jersey. Prior to that, and I'll talk about it with preparation for the nor'easter down here in Seaside. We never thought twice about it. That was something that hit the Gulf of Mexico and Florida would get all the time, until we did. 6 years ago. There's still Tom's River, Seaside Heights, still a lot of ratables off. Same thing in North Jersey, Jersey City, Hoboken, still missing ratables. All right, you're watching the Tom's River Show. We'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. We're back. You're watching the Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You there? You got all the information on the bottom of the screen going on there. If you need me, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. County, state, municipal, consumer, we're good at that. Got my Babe's coffee. Actually, pretty good coffee. Again, we had another tragic shooting. 11 people dead in Pittsburgh. Some others injured, some law enforcement injured. The assailant is in custody. Yeah, this is homegrown terrorism here. And what's interesting, when you look, we all want a reason this happens. Why did someone like this walk into a synagogue and kill people? He had no police record. The police were unaware of him. He seemed to live an uneventful life for the most part. He went about his business. But he did find a social media footprint. Everybody has a social media footprint. We talked about this before on the Tom's River Show. Be careful what you're putting on social media, because you see what happened with Kavanaugh, and that was like people recalling 35 years ago, and he had a little diary he kept. Now that footprint from social media is there forever. So you do something stupid at 16, 17, it's going to come back and bite you on the butt when you're 40. And you say, well, the dumb, stupid kid, that doesn't matter anymore. They had a guy that was the BA in the chief of staff, in Jersey City. He had some crazy speech he did when he was 19 years old. That guy's 40 years old. He lost a job for a crazy speech. Now, you got to be careful. This guy had no history. Yeah, the Vegas guy had no police history. You look at some of these, and it's constant. Now, people are, saying they're blaming Trump because you had the guy with the pipe bombs too. It's Trump people. Blaming the bomb guy on Trump is like blaming a celebrity for a stalker. Somebody gets infatuated with someone, and they go overboard. And this guy was overboard. Well, getting back to the shootings, you got Pittsburgh, you got Vegas, you got Sandy Hook. You have all the high schools, and I question. Why are kids shooting other kids? When we have an age, the only time we had any kind of shootings like this was, used to call it going postal. Somebody at the post office went nuts. That was it. You didn't have people shooting up schools or workplaces. That's, you hate to say this, but it's coming commonplace. I remember President Obama saying, I got to talk about this again, another shooting at some school or some business somewhere. And you're trying to find a common denominator or a closure to it. What is causing this? And I come back to social media. This guy in Pittsburgh, he had a social media footprint where he was on something like with Twitter, and he had these anti-Jewish rants. And there are people now talking that, before you get a gun permit, because he was a legal gun owner, before you get a gun permit, they should research your social media history. That could be pretty tough for anybody, especially since we don't delineate now between being a goofy 14-year-old and a 40-year-old. So be careful what you put on social media. I'm starting to think it's social media. I've said this before on the Jersey City Show and the Tom's River Show. We're constantly offended. Everything offends us. And some of these people take this offense to heart. They just don't leave it on Twitter. They get so riled up. They're from political, politics now. It's almost like radical politics. We talk about radical religion. It's almost like radical politics now. We go to such extremes, and the only thing I can connect that is a possibility is social media. And some of these weak-minded people with hate, you got to have hate. I don't understand, and I said it before with the kids who were shooting up their classmates. What prompts somebody to do this? What is the mindset here? This guy goes into a synagogue and he just kills people he doesn't know. But there were rants in there. Something aggravated this guy. But this is somebody you could see this could happen to you in ShopRite. You don't know where these nuts are, but somehow these people get themselves riled up. And the only thing I can think is social media. It must play some role in there. And the politics isn't helping either, because it's so radicalized now, politics. There's no such thing as working the aisles, crossing over the aisle to get something done. There was a guy, a state senator and assemblyman, Joe Doria, 22 years in the state assembly here. Joe would work with anybody to get a bill. When Joe Doria was in Trenton, he worked for the people. Once campaign was over, Joe Doria was working for the people. That's not it anymore. It's the blue and the red. Nobody's doing the work of the people there. The campaigns never end, and it becomes radical politics. Washington is dysfunctional. You know, there's no truth in the political advertising anymore. You see that. You look at Eugen and Bob Menendez. I know Bob Menendez. You know, Eugen saying that he's corrupt and he's been with prostitutes. None of that was proven. And the thing with the prostitutes was all BS. That was all a setup. But that's getting out there on the media. So the media has a role in this. You know, we should be looking at some of these political ads. But, you know, there's no truth anymore in politics. You know, it's funny to say, say truth in politics. But, you know, we'll see politicians lie, just to get the narrative of their party across. But, you know, and I watch all the newses. You know, I watch ABC, I watch NBC, I watch CBS, I watch Fox, I watch Channel 12. I read 4 papers a day. But, you know, a lot of the media is extremely slanted. You know, talk about Fox. I would not watch Hannity. Hannity comes on, I'll shut him off. I'll watch Tucker sometimes. I like Bill O'Reilly. You know, I like all the news people. I really don't. Sean, he gets too far. But just give me the news. Don't give me your slant. Just give me the news, report the facts, and let me form my own opinion. I don't need you trying to form my opinion. But there's such a discord, and I think this discord and social media, you know, it just revs up these people who obviously have hate in their heart and are of simple mind and will go out and kill. You know, there's like the guy with the pipe bomb. None of them exploded, but what the hell? And of course the guy's going to get busted, and he got busted immediately. His fingerprints all over the place. What prompts people to do this? The only thing I can figure, social media, because we're getting too involved in everything, and we're offended by everything. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'll be right back.
Pen & Pencil Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at penandpencilproperties.com. Pen & Pencil Properties, building Jersey City for everyone. Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
We're back. You're watching the Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You Tom's River person there. You're concerned. That's why I do the show, because we're all concerned. The Patch just did a story in preparation for Halloween about sex offenders. You want to keep your kids away from their house, which makes sense. And they identified, I think it was 93 sex offenders between Tom's River and Seaside Heights. Now, that's a lot. But when you figure the size of Tom's River, well, maybe it's not a lot. Well, it turns out Tom's River had 72 registered sex offenders. And you go to the piece on the Patch, or for that matter, we probably have the link on the screen right now. I think Mike's probably putting it up as I speak. And you can look at this, and they got the little, notations, little push thumb pins, whatever they call push pins. They'll show you where the people live, and you click on that, and it gives you the background and all. There are 72 in Tom's River. There are 21 in Seaside Heights. And that's kind of amazing when you consider Seaside Heights population is like 2,200 people, 2,300. That's like 10% of Seaside Heights are registered sex offenders. Now again, like I said, my kids bought a house down here in Seaside Heights, so I'm very concerned about this. And I had a conversation last year with Mayor Vaz over sex offenders here in Seaside Heights. So, well, how do they all get in here? And he's blaming it on landlords. And there's a possibility the landlords are involved because they want to make a buck. You realize Seaside Heights, that's 10% of their population, probably leads the world in sex offenders per capita. Over like 10%. In Tom's River, it's less than 1%. I think the population of Tom's River is 90,017 people or something like that, and you got 72 registered sex offenders. In Seaside Heights, much lower, but you have them 21. So, think about that. Now, what's the problem with this in Seaside Heights, and how? And let me go back to how are they getting here? They're just, are they indigenous to Seaside Heights? Are they born and raised here? Of course not. I believe they're put here by the County of Ocean. They're clients in the health department, Health and Human Services. That's the only explanation. Now, during the off-season in Seaside Heights, the hotels and motels are basically empty. Seaside Heights, their population here, off-season, is like 2,300, something like that. In season, it's the population of Hoboken, 80,000. And unlike Hoboken, this population changes every week. But Seaside Heights has the same size police force because we got this population, and Tommy Boyd can't lay off these people because other police departments would take them. That's why I ever go to Seaside Heights, it's like see a cop everywhere. That's because we have a lot of cops because we have to keep them here for the when the season starts. The County of Hudson Jersey City guy. The County of Ocean has to be putting these people here through Health and Human Services. That's the only explanation. Now, I'm going to speak to Joe Ficari. I wanted to reach out for him earlier today, but I was not able to find out how they get here. Now, when I had this conversation last year with Mayor Boz, Mayor Boz said, well, you know, it's greedy landlords. And there's something to be said for that. Unlike years in the past with the motels, hotels here, they were all locally owned. For the most part, they're not locally owned anymore. I know some of the owners of the motels here, they at least live in Toms River, not Seaside Heights. But they were family business. For that matter, Mayor Boz's family was in the motel business here in Seaside. So you got a big situation with non-owner occupied properties renting to anyone because they want money. They don't live in Seaside Heights. In many cases, they don't live in Ocean County or Toms River. Or, you know, this is an investment. How do you make their money? They don't care who the hell lives here in the off-season, as long as they're getting a check. And Mayor Boz has a point there. But the other side of the coin is, if the County of Ocean is sending these people in, there's a problem. Now, Seaside Heights is a huge economic engine for the County of Ocean. 4 million, you got to get back. We're not at the 4 million anymore. You need to get back to where it once was 4 or 5 million tourists a year. And when you're bringing that kind of foot traffic into Seaside Heights, of course, does well. Toms River does well because those people drive through Toms River. Route 37 does well. You can see the change in reputation of Seaside Heights. It was Sleeside, Sandy, and the fire, the effect it has on Route 37. The closer you get to Seaside Heights, the more vacant buildings you see. For that matter, on Route 37, when I was looking for studio space, I looked at space on Route 37. Every one of the locations I looked at are still available. And that was like 3-4 years ago. All coincides with Sandy and Sleeside. Now, of course, Sandy is six years out. Seaside is rebuilt. There's still some properties that are, off the ratables. There's a perception, the Jersey Shore gang did no favors to the reputation of Seaside Heights, but you have a new mayor here the last couple of years with Mayor Boz. He is changing that to a family-friendly. For that matter, this Jersey Shore gang wanted to film in Seaside. You couldn't prevent them, but you could curtail them. And Mayor Boz curtailed them to the point where they really couldn't operate here. So there's a change that goes on. But if people who are looking to vacation in Seaside Heights for a week or two, and they find out like 10% of the population is sex offenders, they're not coming here. So the county has to be aware, and the businesses have to be aware that if somebody's researching, well, let's say in Seaside Heights, says, whoa, wait a minute here, they're not going to come here. And that hurts the economy. It hurts the state of New Jersey. Because there's some math they say for every dollar spent on tourism, it comes back 4 times to the state of New Jersey. I don't know how that works. Because I'm the state of New Jersey. I'm spending all my money on the stands here because it's coming back 4 to 1. But it is a huge economic engine for the state, and especially Ocean County and Toms River. So we have to protect that. So I'm going to talk to Joe Ficari and find out how these people are getting here. But keep in mind, like 10% of Seaside Heights are registered sex offenders. Amazing. You're watching the Toms River Show? I'll be right back. The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service, It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com.
I'm back. You're back. We're all back. Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. Remember, our shows are archived on live stream. You can catch them on YouTube also at the Hudson Media. I guess all that stuff's on the bottom of the screen. Now, as I said before, I'm a Jersey City guy, where most of everybody from Tom's River comes from. Somehow the gene pool, that is the gene pool, and it only takes me like 2 degrees, 3 degrees of separation to get to Jersey City. Either you're from Jersey City, your mom's from Jersey City, but there's Jersey City in Tom's River. Lots of Jersey City in Tom's River. Now, Jersey City guy, and as I said earlier, until Superstorm Sandy, hurricanes, we see pictures of that on TV. We never experienced that in Jersey City until Sandy. And I live in what's called the Heights of Jersey City. And the reason it's called the Heights is we're on the top of a hill. So when Sandy hit, there was a lot of wind, there was a lot of rain, but being in the Heights, we had no flooding, and some sections of the Heights never lost electricity. I was one of them. We never had electricity out. We never personally had any hardships. The city did. The city was out, most of the city, for 10 days. And, people, you're ringing the phone here. And for 10 days, they're running around with gas cans and all that, trying to, get what generators going. We fortunately didn't have that. Even my studio had electricity, so I was, really lucky. Preparation-wise, we never actually prepared for anything in Jersey City all those years. We just, looked at the TV screen and we seen what happened in Florida or Louisiana, wherever the hurricane was. So as the Jersey City guy, nor'easter's coming in. I tell my wife, I said, listen, let's get down here and let me prep the house. Now I'm working on these hurricane things for the windows, and whoever put windows in this house, there was very different varieties of windows in this house, because there's some hurricane grips I want to use, and some will have to put screws in the frames. But every window is almost different. So I'm going to go down there. I want to make sure I protect the house, make sure everything's off the ground. And you got storm doors. And the storm doors, they rattle a little bit. So I want to make sure I protect them. So we're running around here in the house down here in Seaside, and we're securing the garage. We're getting the cans up, anything will blow away. Putting wedges in the storm doors so they're good and tight, making sure the windows are closed. Everything you can possibly do to stop any damage from a nor'easter. So we go through all this. And finally, at the end of the 2-3 hours, whatever time we were here, so let's go up on the boardwalk, go to Beachcomber, we'll have some pizza. I'm sitting up there, and there's the regulars, and nobody seems to be very concerned about this. Now, prior to Superstorm Sandy, the regulars would tell me that they'd get a case of beer, sit in the stand, and they'd ride out the nor'easter. Oh, look at the wind, blah blah blah. After Superstorm Sandy, there was no case of Bud riding that out. Tommy Boyd almost lost his life rescuing people from the boardwalk. So they're riding him out. But we're up there, and nobody's there's no preparations. I know Ramboli hit DPW. He was stashing his stand up, but that was pretty much it. So I'm sitting there and telling my wife, again, Jersey City people, maybe it's not going to be so bad looking at this. As well, we prepared for it. So that was the main thing. So the storm's hitting. You got earth cams. I'm watching the earth cams. I mean, the ocean's hitting the boardwalk. The sand. You can see the sand disappearing. And I'm going to tell you something. They're talking about putting an 18-foot dune on the beach just in this nor'easter. Unless they're nailing this 18-foot dune down somehow, that's not going to work. Because I've seen the surf just taking sand and putting it up on the boardwalk, and when the waves go back out, it's taking sand with it. And normally with the Seaside Beach, you really can't see the water hitting the beach. Well, I came back down after the nor'easter. Here you can see the water coming right in. We lost a lot of beach here in Seaside Heights. And I was watching, I put all low cams in the house and outside. So I'm watching the wind, the trees are blowing, this is blowing. I got a car out there with a car cover. Bungees. If you're going to get bungees for your car cover, don't get the cloth ones. They look good. They're just not as resilient as those black rubber bungees. Put the black rubber bungees on the car cover stays there. The only place I didn't put them, because I didn't think I needed them, was in the back of the car. The car cover blew up there, but it was no big deal. I think it came up after the storm, actually. So if you're preparing. Now, Jersey City guy, now, Tom's River, Seaside Heights people, you've dealt with these storms and nor'easters for years. You're probably, look at this guy. He's putting wedges in his doors. What's this? Again, I have no hurricane nor'easter training. But I'm telling you, if you're not using those black bungees, the hard rubber ones, you're kidding yourself, because that's the ones that are going to work. So, I watch the storm. I go, through the all cameras and the earth cam. And the earth cam, you're picking up the ferocity of the storm. They got the mics there. That's really something. I didn't see Superstorm Sandy when it was hitting. All I seen was, on my block. And again, I was up in the heights, so we didn't get a lot of the damage. But it's really something to watch Mother Nature. So as we get into the nor'easter hurricane season here, I'm still trying to figure out ways to protect the house. But I call flooding experts. So, I'd like you to come down, look at the house, and give me some pointers on how I can prevent flooding. Outside of lifting the house. We're not going to lift the house. Without lifting the house, and you're not going to make a ton of money, I can't get these people to come down and look at it. So I'm left to my own imagination on how I'm doing it. So I'm trying to dream up how I'm going to seal the doors. But in this house, there's like a crawl space. And on each side of the house, the east and west side, there's a flood gate vent. And water can go pass through the bottom of the house. Somebody designed this house in the 40s, and it lasted this long, so he probably had the right idea for drainage and water and all. And it's one of the few houses in Seaside Heights that's brick. It's the third pig house. There's only a few of the 3 pig houses here that are made from brick and cinder block. So I'm efforting to figure out how I can protect the homes, and I want to protect the home from 12 inches of water. If I can protect it from 12 inches of water, I think I can take on Mother Nature. But I'm out of time, but that's how I spent nor'easter down here prior to the storm, and then bugging out before the storm hit. All right, I'm out of show. If you need any help, email me, tweet me. You be good, you be safe. I'll talk to you during the week. Good night.